I don't know what it was today, but I was walking downtown and I saw a woman, and it just reminded me of one of my ex-girlfriends. And then that reminded me how much I hate women. What was my ex-girlfriend? Oh, it was in 7th grade. We dated for 2 months. And then she told me she was a lesbian. Yeah, woman. Today's quote is, give a man a mic and he'll create a shit podcast. Today's topic is, no, your podcast is not going to take off. You're in a pyramid scheme. Today's topic is going to be a generic one about podcasts because I was at work and I didn't have time to subsequently think to myself. I feel like this is a generic one, so, but yeah, I think it's something. I also will note this with, I'm not a big podcast watcher. I don't get the appeal. So, but nonetheless, I think the first person that people think of when they think or hear a podcast is Andrew Tate. Just because he's so much of a douche that he's kind of like made a name for himself in podcasts. And it's not because he actually is like skilled in any manner whatsoever except manipulating people. He just targeted a weak audience, teenage boys, emasculated teenage boys specifically, and he told them, oh, the reason why you don't have a girlfriend, the reason why no one likes you is because of feminism and because of and because there's this natural order in the world where women bow down, and he's like, you want to become rich? You want women to love you? Well, you have to be rich because our women are gold tickets. And he sells his fucking pyramid scheme to teenage boys. That's why he's rich. He's not rich because he's a fucking genius. No, he preys on a weak audience. Okay, it's the equivalent of those TV ads you turn on when you have cable and they're selling this bullshit crap like 22 karat necklace, $2,000, and they like sell it online and they have the ads and they're like, oh now, do people not realize those programs are specifically targeted at elderly people who are alone in their homes and are bored or lonely? He's doing the same thing. Okay, he is no better than like an online telemarketer abusing the elderly. Actually, I feel like he is worse. Because wasn't he caught sexually trafficking people? Yeah. Not only that, but he has built a generation of teenage boys who despise women. Because he feeds on their insecurities. And he goes, you da-da-da-da-da, blah-blah-blah-blah, all women's fault. When in reality, it's their fault. It is their fault. And he gives them a place to put their anger out, which is women. Continuing. Besides the Andrew thing, I feel there's just a bunch of people who got on podcasts and were like Andrew Tate 2.0. And the thing about them is they're like random white guys. And they hold up their mic and they say bullshit opinions. Like they're like, we don't talk about it enough, but I just think about it sometimes. We live in this world with so many people and they all live their own lives. Really? Get this man a philosophy class. Go get him a degree. Okay, that's Frank Kafka. That's he might have wrote Metamorphosis. He might have. But I do want to talk about people. This is random, but I love when people are like, they're like getting philosophical with it. They're like, you're right, we birthed a million times, and they're like, I love Frank Kafka, blah, blah, blah. I love Sylvia Plath, I love the Jar Bell book. Names not going. Like, I get it, you think you're sophisticated because you read books that the average person doesn't, but I'm gonna be honest, almost every person in the college English course reads that book. They all do, okay? But that's another topic for another time. Yeah. So basically, podcast men are the thought daughters of podcasts. Yeah. Like, and there are some good okay, I will name one good podcaster I like, just because he's fucking funny. And because he doesn't play himself up. He's not trying to seem like he's the smartest man in the room. Theo Von. Fucking hilarious. Who doesn't love Theo Von? You've got to appreciate him. Because he's a good podcaster. He's down to earth. He's not like fucking I hate women. He's not, and you can tell when he speaks his mind, it's genuine. He's not bullshitting his way through. He's not going, I just thinking about, you know, my mother, she had a mother. And her mother had a mother too. Yeah, that's just some deep thoughts, bro. Yeah. Like, can we please, for the love of God, can we stop praising podcast men for having thoughts that the average 10-year-old should have? Like, I'm glad it took you this long to emotionally mature. It's great to hear. Should we call Bella Hadid? Should we bring out the choir? And that's what I feel like. And people will, and then their like average teenage followers will go out and they'll put on a black and white filter and they'll use the aggressive text and they'll be like, blah, blah, blah. Like, Jesus Christ. Pick up a book. Okay, people 200 years ago were having these thoughts. Think about that. Your life is essentially pointless. Because every new thought you had has been thought by about 5,000 fucking people in the day you thought it. Let's get philosophical with that. Let's get philosophical with why you have commitment issues. Let's get philosophical why you are so angry at gay people. Let's get philosophical. I think it's my new phrase when anyone says anything. Let's get philosophical. But you know what they give me? Men are evolving. Men are evolving. And they, like, when they evolve, they're like, oh my God. Like, you see the men, they're like, because that's another thing. These men, the men that don't hate women on their podcast, they try and act sophisticated. They try and get a female audience. Ladies, stop falling for these bumbling fucking idiots. Genuinely. There is a crackhead on the street who can probably tell you the same thing for $1. Like, type in your keyboard, press the random keyboard selector. You'll get the same quality thoughts out of these men. And it's not that they actually enjoy these topics they're talking about. They want women to like them. What? Get out of here. Get out of here. Yeah. And they're like, feminist literature books. I'm 6'1". I love that joke. Ladies, I just dropped my feminist literature books. P.S. I'm 6'1". And I believe period. Let's get philosophical up in here. Let's get philosophical. Let's call Bella Hadid. Let's get Sylvia Plath in the studio right now. I think this is the end of the video. Anyways, I've realized that YouTubers are supposed to have like those subscribe, smash the notification button. Yeah. If you want to comment, give me ideas.